So how does a person work through this? How do they get a sense of themselves? What would be
Mhm.
some of the steps that a listener right now could do that could help them start to get a sense
Yeah.
of themselves again?
So the first thing that I say, and I say this to my clients a lot who are really going through it, is it's not outside of you. Because for a lot of people, one of the reasons why we lose our sense of self is because we find it in other people and what we do outside of us, not other people alone, but in our work. So that's the other sort of aspect of trauma is, you look outside of you,
True.
right? Whether it's work, whether it's food, whether it's other people,
Hmm.
relationship, you look outside of yourself for home, for safety,
Yeah.
and you can never find it.
Hmm. So you
You
need to
can
create
never,
it for yourself.
yeah, it's already there. It's
Hmm.
already there. You need to just reconnect with it. It's
And
not outside of you, and you don't have to buy it. You just have to give yourself enough time to connect with it. It's not outside of you. It's not expensive. And I think um people benefit from our traumas, like the economy benefits from people's trauma. Like they know, I think economists know more than we know psychology of sort of getting people to spend money, and getting people to look for validation and for connection outside of themselves. eBay knows this. They know, like they make the biggest sales in the night when people are disturbed,
true.
right?
Ugh.
The
Yeah, when they're
diet
staying up late
industry
at
know
night. Hmm.
yeah, the diet industry knows it. Every
Yeah.
single marketplace. People benefit in terms of our
Pharmaceutical
time on social,
companies.
yeah, pharmaceutical company, doom
Hmm.
scrolling on Instagram, like they make money
Hmm.
off ads,
Video
all of
games.
those. Video games, absolutely.
Hmm.
Sex,
Hmm.
so people benefit from our disconnection. It makes money for
Ooh.
them. And you will never
Ooh.
get your sense of self outside of you. And and to anyone listening who struggles with it, just be reassured that it's within you and it's not outside of you. And when you start to find it, you'll be very surprised the things that you do when you reconnect aren't like laborious as sort of like, whether it's getting a cosmetic surgery. Of course, get a cosmetic surgery if you want to, but it's not as laborious as that. Like, it is in slowing down, right? There are definitely like different ways of doing this. For me, and in sort of kind of taking people through, the ABCs of it, is first of all understanding what trauma is, understanding your own trauma profile. I say understanding yourself is the beginning of all wisdom.
Hmm.
And so my client is like, we get into this sort of like understanding and, having done this for a while, like so many ways, but a couple of ways you need to understand your emotions. Like I go down like a psychoeducational route, I go down a let's connect, let's find out route. But like, if wherever you are on the journey, whether you're in therapy or you're not in therapy, if you're not in therapy, start by trying to understand your emotions. Like that's not outside of you, that's something within you, because your emotions will guide you. Oftentimes, disconnection
Yes.
happens because we're disconnected from our emotions. That emotions are one of the big connecting point. They have data to tell us about
Yeah.
ourselves. It doesn't necessarily have to be factual, but they carry data.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily factual, but it does give us data because,
Yeah,
yeah.
it gives you data. It gives you
Hmm.
data. Like an absence of it, a presence of it. Because sometimes, like
Yeah.
emotions that you're meant to feel aren't there. Like, if you're meant to like be really angry because someone was mean to you and you're not angry. Like when my client comes to me and they tell me a story, like someone was mean to them and
Hmm.
they got anxious, and I'm like, oh, well, where's your anger? Because I'm hearing this right now and
Yeah.
it's making me angry, that someone would treat you like that. Oh, I can't feel anger. Huh?
So a
That's
good
so
question you could ask yourself in helping with this is, do my emotions line up with the situation? Do my
absolutely. What
feelings
emotion is
line
missing
up?
right now? What emotion is missing right now?
Yeah.
And yeah, like so, like I say, with psychoeducating people, I teach people the ABCs of it. Inside Out is really good for this. If you struggle with your emotions and you want to understand it, just go watch Inside Out Part 1. I think they did a good enough job. Of course, I would have some editing to it if I get the chance. Yeah, Inside Out, of course, it talks about the basic emotions, and for a lot of childhood trauma survivors, um not like, with attachment difficulties, where they're like having negligent caregivers, is you really don't develop your emotional world. Not that you don't have emotions and you can't feel, because you can feel everything, but you don't have the scaffolding, the mirroring that happens that help us develop our emotional world. We're not born with anything, and so we need our
Mm.
caregivers to help us develop, to mirror to us what we're experiencing, to label to us, so that we can start to build
Right.
connection with them. Oh, so you're angry. That makes sense. Of course, this, and that's how we learn. We learn because other people are helping us. And that's what a lot of childhood trauma survivors don't get, is they
Right.
don't have that mirroring. They don't have anyone, something bad, like someone's done something bad to you. No one validated the people. And you learn subconsciously. You're in pain. But when no one is telling you that that's not right, this is pain, no one is protecting you, somehow you think that that's okay.
After a
Somehow you
while, it
just
feels like it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
When it
yeah,
happens over and over, it's like, well, I guess
absolutely,
this is my
yeah,
life. I
yeah, this
mean,
exactly. That is all you know.
yeah,
And if it hurts and you're in that confusion, your confusion, that what the mind does is like, it's a you problem. You're defective. Something's wrong with you,
exactly.
something's wrong with you. And so you try to cope and you get lost in the coping mechanism, and you use so many things and you just get lost and you just get lost. And it's so easy to get lost in
Mhm.
life because there's so many distractions. So, it's
Wow.
like going back to sort of having those unmet needs met. So, like, I always recommend Inside Out to my clients, when they are on this sort of like what is it, um elementary learning about emotions journeys. Like, yeah, you have to learn, like, like you're learning your ABCs. Start to notice, what does happiness feel like, what does joy feel like in your body, because another thing is trauma disconnects us from our body. We can't
Yes.
stay in there. That is scary. It's a scary place. And so, like, sort of kind of like in bits, we need to create, because if we can't connect with our emotions, if we cannot feel like the signals, because emotions are just that, like, it's a way in which we connect with the world, right?
Right.
If we can't do that, we can't connect with who we are. When we're not our
Ooh.
emotions, we're not, right? That's what we feel. That's what helps us survive, Like, anger has a purpose, it helps to protect you.
Right.
Fear has a purpose, it helps to protect you. Shame even has a purpose. Guilt has a purpose. All of these emotions, they have purposes, they have utilities. And when we've not, like, when things happen, when there's been issues in our early life and we haven't developed a healthy connection with it, and our nervous system hasn't been wired right, then we struggle with connection,
Mhm. Yeah, and if
right?
you can't
We
connect with
struggle with
yourself, you can't
no,
connect with others.
no,
And
because
that's
you
a
you you
really lonely place.
it is, people connect with your wounds. If you
Ooh,
can't connect, people connect with your wounds. People
true.
befriend your wounds. Like the version of you that goes out, if you've learned that no, productivity or like pleasing other people is the way that I survive, you are going to attract people who are going to
Yes.
use that. Like, if you connect, if you self-abandon, if you don't know who you are going to connect with people who love you just like that.
Yep. Yep, that's so true.
So, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.